You said, my name is Claudia. I just recently graduated from the U of A with a graphic design degree. Currently, I'm working with you guys as a freelancer. I
Hi, today we're here with another episode of our Above the Bar interviews. Today we have Miss Claudia Molina, one of our former students from Rio Rico High School. And we also have Mr. George Moreno from our CTE department, our coordinator. I'd like to welcome you both. So our Above the Bar, we recognize students from our past, present, as well as members of our education community for all the things that they're doing to go above the bar. I know Mr. Moreno had recommended you for this interview. So with that, before we get to why he recommended you, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Claudia?
well, like you said, my name is Claudia. I just recently graduated from the U of A with a graphic design degree. Currently, I'm working with you guys as a freelancer, and yeah, that's mostly it.
Okay. So you graduated from Rio Rico High School, is that correct?
Yeah, I did in 2016.
That's in 2016.
Hmm.
And so did you go to elementary or middle school in our district as well?
I did. I went to Peña Blanca and I went to Calabasas Middle School.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. So
You
you've
were
been,
actually the principal at Calabasas when I was there.
yeah, that's what I thought. Uh, So, Mr. Moreno, why don't you tell us why you wanted to recognize Claudia?
Yeah, so I had came across a former student and I was telling them about what we're doing here at Rio Rico High School, and we're trying to brand our CTE programs, making sure our community is aware of the 10 programs that we offer and the certifications, the dual enrollment, and all the great things that we're doing. And part of that was we wanted to get some bands wrapped. And so when I mentioned that to a student, I said, "Yeah, we're working on getting some brand new vans that we just purchased. We want them to be wrapped, and we want them to really capture, interest and let people know what's happening." And he said, "Oh, do you remember Flavia?" And I said, "Of course." And he said, "Well, she just graduated in graphic design from the U of A." And he said, "You should reach out to her and see if she'd be willing to help out." And sure enough, I gave Claudia a call and I said, "Hey, Claudia, this is what we have in mind. We want to do banners. We want to wrap bands. At the moment, it'd be, pro bono. It'd be you offering your time and maybe something will come of it." And Claudia was really, she was really excited about the opportunity. She said, "You know what, Miss Moreno, this is something I could benefit from. I want to build a portfolio of things that I'm doing. And what better way can I provide that than giving back to the high school or the community I grew up in?" And we communicated, we collaborated on some ideas, and she came up with some beautiful banners. At the moment, we have 4 of them in front of our school. And right now, we're working with a company in Tucson to get our bands wrapped. So I'd like to share, but I want to share once it's completed, right? So people can actually see the bands that are happening. She did a really great job. Later on in the year, we realized that we got a patrol car for the law enforcement. And before reaching out to her, I asked Dr. Lunderville if it was possible to make Claudia freelance, if we could actually get her as a vendor. And we worked that out, and Claudia was really excited. And, after sharing this story a couple times, it came up like, "Hey, we should really reach out, let Mr. Verdugo know that, Claudia was worthy of raising the bar or a segment of above the bar."
Well, great. Well, thank you for sharing that because I think it's great. So you went to Rio Rico High School, graduated in 2016, and then went to the U of A. And so why did you choose graphic design? Was it something at the high school that guided you toward that, or you just said, that's something I really have passion about?
No, actually, I started off as a speech pathology major. And then I got a job at the dorms from the U of A, and There, I was just an office assistant, and I would do like create flyers and create like stuff for advertising in the dorms that they had programs. Um, so from there, I was like, I probably like this better than what I'm actually studying right now. So I changed majors, and that's how I started all this graphic design thing.
And so a whole change in what you were doing
Yeah.
before. But it started with you actually being in the dorms. So
Yeah.
one of the things that we always tell our students is we want you to leave. But we also want you to come back.
Yeah.
But we want, you probably heard me say that before. And so taking that opportunity to leave and live in the dorms, how difficult was that for you?
It was difficult at first just because I was first generation in college as well. So I was the first one to leave my house. But after that, the first year was hard. So after the first year, everything just like figured out itself. So we didn't have, well, I didn't struggle that much, but the first year was definitely hard. Just adapting to um, more students than I was used to, not living with my parents. It was hard.
Yeah. And we know from our community that's really close to their family, and it's
Yeah,
hard to be away sometimes. But without that, you probably wouldn't have had the opportunity to do what you're doing now and
yeah,
find
exactly.
that opportunity. So what would you tell students if you had the opportunity to tell them about not being afraid?
I would just say to join like a lot of programs. At the dorms, if they would stay, I would recommend that more, so you can like meet new people. I would also recommend them to get out of their dorms, meet new people, go to the programs that they host. That way they don't feel all sad in their room being by themselves. So to just explore, not stay in and try to figure things on your own, ask questions. They're always there to help.
Yeah, and I'm sure your family was very supportive of you, and so I'm sure you were able to come back and visit if you
Oh
needed
yeah, definitely. Every weekend.
to. Yeah, well, good. So when you were in high school,
Mhm.
what were some of your favorite memories about being a Rio Rico Hawk?
I would say my favorite memory was just culinary class. I think it prepared me when I left my house, so I cook and stuff. It's really nice. And then after culinary, I would have lunch, so I would eat food that we would be there. So it was nice.
Yeah, so you got to be part of the CT program and the culinary arts and
Yeah,
learn a skill that I'm sure is definitely important,
valid.
how
Yeah.
to cook on your own. Uh,
Hmm.
so you probably know we have a lot of different things happening in our district
Yeah.
with things being built. So having been in our district for so long, how do you feel about the new changes and what's happening in our community?
I think it's really great. I'm really excited for the new students that are going to take advantage of that because we didn't have. Well, I know that the graphic design program was removed, but now they have the video, the film,
Yeah,
and yeah, that one. So it
yeah,
ties around with graphic design. So I think that's really cool having new programs in, and then they're getting for is it the program, the thespian program that
yeah.
they're getting their own stage? Yeah, that's really, really awesome. So they can take a really good advantage of that. Something we didn't have.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing I hear a lot from former students. Why didn't we have it when I
Yeah.
was there? And I said, well, we've been trying, but we wouldn't have been able to do it without students like you that did great things
Mhm.
while you were here, so that we
Mhm.
can go out to the community and say, look at all these great things that our students are doing. And that's why we also like to highlight students like you that have gone through our district and have gone out and are now doing great things. So what's the future plan for you now that you're doing a little bit of work for us? So
Yes.
now what's the next step?
Probably getting like a full-time graphic design job. Currently, I just have the freelance position, so I would just like to have a actual full-time job in graphic design. Maybe not here in Tucson, maybe out of state. We'll see.
Yeah. So now that's obviously we are glad you're able to come back, but we also like to have our students go out and explore and do things and not be afraid to travel. So it sounds like you're embracing that and
Yeah.
ready to go in any place that in particular that you're looking at moving out to.
Not really. Probably, I don't know. California is the one with the highest rate of jobs in graphic design, so
Yeah.
maybe we'll see. It's a
Yeah.
bigger state. I mean, city. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about the design that you have been able to make for the district. What was your working with Mr. Moreno and trying to get that design? So how did that come to your mind and just from your experience working in school?
Yeah. So I used to work for the U of A as a graphic design as well. So they would use a lot of like icons, and I thought, well, when I was in Rio Rico, I never saw icons or like stuff like that. I thought that would be like a good idea, especially for the programs to let students know exactly what those programs are and what you can do and benefit them. So that's what I tried doing for the banners. I just incorporated icons to what the program is about. Um, just like you see a picture, not just words as well. And I also incorporated the school pictures just so we can the banner of icons and the school colors for the same reason.
But well, great. Well, thank you for spending some time with us today. Appreciate it. And Mr. Moreno, thank you for organizing that and using one of our students. That's the other thing. We like to make sure that anytime we can, we keep our dollars local, but also utilizing our students as well. So thank you again for spending some time, and we're glad that we're able to do this, and we're proud of all the work that you're doing, and wish you the best. And keep being above the bar and showcasing what our students do. And we're proud of you. So thank you again for spending some time with us today.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you guys for the opportunity. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.